there. So on the way from Iquique, you go up to a place called Calama, which is about 7,000 feet, 7,500 feet. And it's just like a little nowhere town, a little small, maybe mining town or something like that. So I stayed there. Maybe have some footage of that, I'm not sure. Then we go into San Pedro de Atacama, which is about 500 feet higher. It's like 7,900 feet, and it's in the desert. Very, very touristy. They keep all the roads like dirt to have that authentic touristy vibe to it, but lots of hippies wandering around there and like travelers and tourists. There's some awesome red rocks as you come into San Pedro, so that was really cool. So stayed there in San Pedro, I believe, 2 nights. First night when I got there, I just kind of wandered around and inspected the city, I think. Maybe it was only 1 night, I can't remember, but my goal was to do the Valley of the Moon. So I like walked all the way from San Pedro to the Valley of the Moon, which I think is like 10 kilometers. Then I walked the full Valley of the Moon and walked all the way back. I think it was like a 28-kilometer day. And even though my stomach was better because of all that earlier lack of nutrition, I was pretty tired, but it was good. And that Valley of the Moon is amazing. It's like being on the moon, and it's super cool. Lots of salt sections. Has this really cool structure called the Three Marias at the end of it. So I have some video of that. Very, very, very cool territory. When I was walking back, it got kind of stormy, and I have some video of the sunset and the kind of sky, really cool sky. So anyway, the next night, the next morning, I left San Pedro, and I drove up to this sort of 3-way border between Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile, where the telescopes are. And I kind of planned this out. I was worried about my car, but I got my car up there and I pulled it over beside this like building that said Chile. Maybe it was a border building, maybe it was, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't being used, but it was, it was clean, like a government building in the middle of nowhere. And I parked my car there. Then I walked back maybe half a mile to the road, to the trail entrance up to the telescopes. And this is not a tourist thing. There's no signs for like walk this way or anything like that. It's government and science facility stuff in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert. So I walked up and up and up, and I parked my car about 15,000 feet. So again, worried if it would start in the morning, but took my chance and walked up. You can see alpacas, these crazy awesome animals up there. It's really interesting kind of grass. I keep going up and up and up. And eventually, you get to like 16,000 feet. I felt okay. I found that if I like turned my head backwards or something, when I turned it back, then I felt a little dizzy, but if I just walked straight, I was fine, so I kept walking. But I wasn't quite sure where the telescopes were. So I saw this one telescope way away, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if I can get there. That's crazy. But I kept walking and walking and walking. Finally, I come up to this plateau, and I realize what it is the Atacama telescope is right at my left. So I see that. That's amazing. Yeah, I got some video of that. The Atacama array, they've got these telescopes that they make into an array. They all work together. That's below. And the one that I saw way in the distance was like the Tokyo Atacama, which is actually the highest. So fortunately, I didn't have to go there. So I have some video of me up by this telescope. Very cool. Nothing's up there, just like some workers with their trucks. There was this dog who was like, I don't know if he's a coyote or what he was, but he looked just tired. Just kind of like in the shade. But it's 17,000 feet, right? So that's like the highest I've ever been. So amazing, amazing stuff up there. And I have some footage of that, like I said. And then I came back down. They have some volcanoes near there at that 3-way border, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile. I have some video of that. And I returned to my car and I said, okay, I'm going to sleep in my car tonight. So very cold. Interesting. They only receive like 3 millimeters of rain per year there. And it rains like maybe once a year. And that night, I think it actually rained a little bit. But fortunately, the sky cleared back open and I could see all the stars. Just amazing. So I went to sleep in my car, very, very cold. And in the morning, I was like, please start. Please start. Please start. And turned the key and it caught. I was like, yes! Yes, it started. So I got in the car, drove back down past San Pedro, past Calama, all the way down to Antofagasta, which is at sea level. and I'll get to that in the next video. But amazing, San Pedro, Valley of the Moon, and the Atacama Space Telescopes, definite like highlights of the trip, along with Uyuni de Salar and Loja and a few other things. But San Pedro, probably my highlight. Super awesome, 17,000 feet up with the space telescopes.